General Hospital spoilers reveal that Carly Spencer will have 3 messes to contend with, so let's talk about which fires she'll try to put out. There'll be a lot going on for Carly in the coming episodes, so here's what GH fans can expect. For starters, Carly will double down on her Lulu Spencer warning. Lulu knows where Carly stands when it comes to the topic of Brooke Lynn Quartermain's secret adoption and the child she's hiding from Dante Falconeri. Carly has tried to convince Lulu that it'll be a catastrophe if she blows up the truth. That's why Carly will worry when she realizes Lulu is still digging for answers. Carly might even get updates on Lulu's theory that Giovanni Gio Palmieri is Dante and Brooke Lynn's son all grown up. If that's the case, it'll give Carly a good reason to intensify her warning and insist Lulu could unleash chaos that she can't take back. Lulu and Carly have a major face-off coming up during the week of May 12 to 16, so look for Carly to sound the alarm once more. Next, Carly may help Jason Morgan with a Sonny Corinthos crisis, since he won't approve of Sonny selling his peers to Jen Sidwell. Sidwell is pretty much the least trustworthy person in Port Charles as far as Jason is concerned, so he may recruit Carly for help getting through to Sonny. Carly and Jason indeed have a strategy session coming up soon, so we'll see if that's about convincing Sonny that this deal could spell disaster. Later, Carly will deal with some Nina Reeves drama. It turns out Nina will have a huge request for Carly, who already figured out Nina was behind Drew Kane's drugging trap and all the Jacinda mayhem. Nina may get nervous now that her scheme's gone so far off the rails. Will Nina's request involve her cover-up and a promise from Carly that she'll keep her mouth shut? Whatever the case, it looks like Nina will pay Carly a visit and try to get a vow from her. Nina may make a prediction about losing Willow Corinthos forever if the truth comes out and hope that she can count on Carly's silence. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Vanessa Marcil is most familiar to daytime TV viewers through her role as Brenda Barrett on the ABC soap General Hospital. Introduced on September 18, 1992, Marcil's introduction would become one of the series' most iconic characters. Brenda's charisma, emotional complexity, and vulnerability endeared her to viewers immediately, making her a central figure in the show's storylines during the 1990s. Marcil stayed on the show for 6 years before leaving in 1998 to pursue other professional ventures. Although her first stint came to an end, her acting as Brenda was so memorable that she was welcomed back for several limited stints. These return visits were from 2002 to 2003, 2010 to 2011, and for a special guest stint in 2013 to commemorate the show's 50th anniversary. Brenda Veronica Barrett is the daughter of successful businessman Harlan Barrett and his ex-partner Veronica Wilding in General Hospital. She was born on March 31, 1975. Her early plotlines involved her tense relationship with her half-sister Julia Barrett, who managed Brenda's trust fund and tried to steer her towards finishing school. Brenda first appeared on screen at 17, having quit boarding school and moved to Port Charles to live with Julia. Brenda soon became immersed in Port Charles's social life. Early during her stay on the show, she became close friends with such characters as Robin Scorpio and fell into romantic relationships with Jagger Cates, creating a rivalry with Karen Wexler. These initial plots established Brenda as a brash and driven young woman, not afraid to push boundaries and prove herself independent. 2 of Brenda's most serious relationships were with mobster Sonny Corinthos and corporate exec Jasper Jacks. Brenda's relationship with Sonny featured intense emotional intimacy, but also a recurring pattern involving his criminal associations. Their story was a primary plot point for the mid- to late 1990s, and again in her subsequent stints on the show. Brenda's affair with Jax provided a different dynamic. The two were married briefly in 1996, but the marriage was annulled after it was found that Jax's first wife, Miranda, was alive. Brenda was involved with Jax and Sunny at different points throughout her story, torn between their worlds. Brenda was assumed dead in 1998 after her mentally ill mother was involved in a car crash. Her portrayer reprised her character in 2002, disclosing that she survived the accident and had been played by Luis Alcazar, a criminal who became fascinated with her. Brenda was also charged with crimes during this time, but was cleared with the assistance of Jax and Jason Morgan. Brenda returned in 2010 as the international spokesperson for a humanitarian organization. This return put her in conflict with a criminal named Balkan. The plot revealed that Brenda was the mother of Alec, who was born from a previous affair with Alexander Jamsek, Balkan's son. Alexander was killed in self-defense, and the secret of Alec was kept hidden by Susan Stanwyck, Brenda's partner and Alexander's mother. Brenda wed Sunny in 2011, but the union lasted only a few months as she was worried about safety and wanted to keep Alec away from Sunny's criminal lifestyle. Brenda returned briefly in 2013 during the show's 50th anniversary celebrations. Brenda's greatest on-screen relationship was with Robin Scorpio. The two had a sisterly relationship that lasted many years and enabled several storylines. Brenda also had considerable dealings with characters including Lois Cerullo, Ned Ashton, Carly Corinthos, and Jason Morgan. Brenda Barrett is still one of the most iconic characters in General Hospital history. Even though her returns were sporadic because of the actress's schedule, her character has been a focal point for many significant storylines, particularly romantic relationships and crime. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview video has been released for the week of May 12, 2025. It shows Lulu Spencer figuring out the truth about Giovanni Gio Palmieri. Natalia Ramirez meets with Jen Sidwell. Plus, Willow Tate Corinthos gets served. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. The preview video begins with Sidwell smiling at Natalia. Although these two are exes, they don't have much fondness for one another. At the same time, Sidwell is giving his ex-wife a creepy smile at the beginning of the clip. As the two face each other, Sunny talks to Jason Morgan about Sidwell's proposition. Jason doesn't think it's a good idea at all. However, Sunny is seriously thinking about taking Sidwell's offer. The mob boss tells Jason that Sidwell is not his first choice, but it's the only chance they have to walk away from the business. General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 12 reveal that Lulu figures out that Gioi is Brooklyn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri's secret love child. Carly Spencer already warned Lulu not to blow up everyone's lives. However, Lulu just couldn't stop digging. Carly does ask her who she thinks BLQ and Dante's child is, which of course, Lulu says Gioi. Carly might be shocked, but she could also continue insisting that Lulu step away from it. However, Lulu just won't be able to do that, no matter how many lives she will blow up. Fans will also see Jason share a scene with Tracy Quartermain. Tracy was visibly upset and shaken when BLQ was telling her about the secret adoption. Then, Tracy begs Jason to find him. So Jason's next mission must be to find BLQ and Dante's son. What people don't realize is that the child is much closer than anyone realizes. Also, Willow's worst nightmare comes true. The preview clip shows her facing someone who says, "You have been served." Willow has been so panicked about losing her children. Then, after Drew Kane's scandal, she decided to believe in him. However, that scandal has gone viral. So is Willow about to lose her children? General Hospital's official YouTube account posted a video on the platform on May 10, 2025, teasing the events that are about to unfold in the episode airing tonight. In the spoiler preview for the May 12, 2025 episode, Curtis confronted Portia. He asked her why she was defending someone. However, it wasn't clear who Curtis was talking about. After Curtis asked Portia why she was defending him, she told him it was because she had to. This left fans wondering what will happen next on the ABC soap opera. Meanwhile, Jordan and Laura meet where Jordan tells Laura about some impending trouble. The video sneak peek of General Hospital also showed Sonny making it clear that he disagreed with John. Spoilers for the episode airing on May 12, 2025, suggest that Sonny will confront Jason and turn down an offer. With Jordan warning Laura and Sonny disagree with Jason, the spoiler preview for the May 12, 2025 episode promises a series of emotional roller coasters. The spoilers for the May 12, 2025 episode of General Hospital will feature Tracy meeting Jason to give him a direct assignment, leaving no room for negotiation. The conversation wasn't expected to be casual, as Tracy will reveal exactly what she wants from him. In the episode, Tracy will likely compel Jason to do something that aligns with her mission to stop Sonny. However, Jason will not answer immediately, and he might be seen rethinking his current stance, as he may be unsure about Sonny's decision to sell the piers to Sidwell. After finding himself in a tough spot, Jason will need to make a decision soon. On the other hand, Maxie will find herself in a difficult position and will seek guidance from Anna. The spoilers suggest that she will ask for help to sort out both her personal and professional issues. Since Maxie is looking for clarity, instead of comforting her, Anna gives her straight answers. Meanwhile, on General Hospital, Curtis will be seen having a feeling that something is wrong. He doesn't accuse anyone directly, but his suspicions grow stronger. It is expected that Curtis will find out that someone close to him knows something important, possibly about Sidwell or Drew. He may confront Tracy to learn if she is hiding something from him. Emma will receive shocking news that will shake her up. The news is expected to be something that directly impacts her family and her future. The discovery will make her rethink her current situation, compelling her to isolate herself or react to alert others. Later in General Hospital, Jordan will convey a crucial update to Mayor Laura Collins, possibly about Sidwell's deal or Sonny. Laura will take the information seriously, and both of them will discuss their next moves privately. The conversation between Jordan and Laura will suggest that major shifts are likely to happen for both politics and personal relationships in Port Charles. In the May 9, 2025 episode of General Hospital, Willow met Sasha at the hospital, and they got into a heated argument about Drew and Michael. Willow insisted that Drew was drugged, but Sasha remained skeptical. Sasha blamed Willow's decision to be with Drew, even after finding him in bed with Jacinda. Meanwhile, Dante criticized Jason for Danny's actions after it was revealed that Danny was the one who convinced Rocco to attend the beach party. On the other hand, Brooklyn and Chase decided to proceed with their adoption plans after meeting Alexis. Later, Lulu confronted Rocco and Danny about the beach party and gave them cleaning duties as a form of punishment. Elsewhere, Sidwell met Sonny and proposed a deal to buy the piers. He said he wished to help Sonny avoid the political mess. Sonny surprised Jason by saying that he might decide to sell. General Hospital spoilers hint at some bombshell moments up ahead in Port Charles. The ABC soap just dropped its preview video for the week of May 12 to 16, and fans need to brace themselves for some explosions. Rewinding a bit, the Friday, May 2 episode provided some interesting drama. Willow Corinthos had another confrontation with Sasha Corbin where things got heated. During the ladies' spat, Willow revealed that she went to the burn recovery clinic in Germany to see Michael Corinthos, and her estranged husband denied her visit. Later on in the show, Sasha ended up crossing paths with Jason Morgan, the very person who encouraged Willow to visit Michael at the Baden-Baden facility, and stunned him with the news that Michael had turned Willow away. There's a very good chance that Jason gets to the bottom of things by either talking to Michael on the phone or taking a quick visit to Germany to ask him about why he chose to turn the mother of his children away. With that said, fans know that Michael didn't do that. Rather, Drew Kane paid off a facilitator at the clinic to tell Willow that Michael didn't want to see her. When Jason learns the truth, could this turn into a situation where both Jason and Michael decide it's time that Willow be stripped of her parental rights? Especially in light of the nurse choosing to stay by Drew's side in the aftermath of his ketamine scandal. Both men may have concerns over Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos' safety at this point. Fast forward to this week, and at some point, Willow will get served with legal papers. It seems as if she's at work, so could she get served with papers where Michael officially takes Wiley and Amelia away from her? The kids might be visiting Monica Quartermain while Willow is working, which would add to the nurse's shock and fear. Both Michael and Jason may feel as if they've had enough with Willow's antics. Jason has tried his best to bridge some sanity into Willow's world. First, he helped navigate a solid agreement between her and the Quartermains that had Willow and the kids stay in their home on the Q's property. The only stipulation was that she could not spend time with Drew in the house she once shared with Michael, as Drew was banned from the Quartermain estate, a stipulation that was broken mere days after the agreement. Then, despite everyone advising Willow to refrain from moving in with the cutthroat congressman, Willow did the opposite and wasted little time moving her and her kids in with Drew and Scout Quartermain, a move that not only was too soon for Wiley and Amelia, but poor Scout as well. Willow and Drew seem to only focus on their needs and not on what's best for the children. Once Jason gets the truth from Michael, they may not realize that Drew was behind it, and simply think that Willow is completely out of control and now lying to make her husband look bad. This could cause both men to act fast, solicit Diane Miller to file a petition, and move the kids back to the Quartermain mansion or under Carly Spencer's care. Then again, Jason may investigate further and find out the facilitator who was paid off by Drew. This may also prompt Michael and Jason to move quickly to get the kids out of Drew's home, ASAP. It'll be very disturbing to know the lengths Drew went to keep Willow from talking to Michael. General Hospital spoilers note that either way, Willow's world is about to be flipped upside down by this court order, so fans will have to tune in to see what kind of drama the mom will face in the days ahead. This week on General Hospital, Lulu's persistent snooping pays off, but will she expose what she's learned? Plus, Sunny wants out, and Willow is served. Sunny's got 99 problems, but one of them ain't Sidwell. In fact, while the newbie has been stirring up trouble all over town, he's also presented Sunny with what might be a way out of not only several conundrums, but maybe even the life. Sure, Sunny has said for years that the mob isn't a lifestyle you can walk away from, but what if Sidwell's creating something of a loophole? Will Jason see things the same way? Meanwhile, this week's promo highlights another big story twist. It is May Sweeps after all, as Lulu's convinced she's uncovered the truth regarding Dante and Brooklyn's past. And based on this week's teasers, it appears she has not only figured out that Gioi is Dante's son, but is ready to share that info with Carly. Now, given that Carly isn't necessarily the best at keeping things under wraps, this could prove to be a huge mistake. Meanwhile, Tracy charges Jason with a task, telling him, "I need you to find him." It appears Tracy, like Lulu, isn't respecting Brooklyn's wishes that they leave this alone and not disrupt her now-grown son's life. Finally, Willow is served papers, which can only be from Michael. Perhaps like everyone else, he saw Willow standing by Drew during his press conference and has been pushed too far. Let the custody battle begin. Read the General Hospital spoilers to find out who surprises Laura, who also happens to be livid this week. General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 12, 2025 are here. Next week, fans can expect Lulu Spencer to go on the hunt. Lucky Spencer does some digging. Plus, Christina Corinthos Davis tries to do damage control. Elsewhere, Willow Tate Corinthos is heartbroken. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. Lulu picked up on a clue at the hospital when she was listening to Lois Cerullo defend Giovanni Gio Palmieri. Lulu then went and quizzed Ned Quartermain about Brooklyn Quartermain, leaving school for 6 months during high school. Even though Carly Spencer will once again warn Lulu, the reporter is determined to get to the truth about BLQ's baby. General Hospital fans are mourning the loss of Denise Alexander, the actress who played Dr. Leslie Weber for nearly 5 decades. Alexander died on March 5, 2025, at the age of 85, but her death was publicly confirmed 2 months later. On May 11, her stepson, Anthony Calla, told The Hollywood Reporter that she died of natural causes at the home of a nephew in Boulder, Colorado. Known for her long-running role as one of Port Charles' most beloved characters, her portrayal of Leslie Weber left a lasting impression on the soap community. Viewers who watched her through the generations are now expressing their grief online, posting tributes and sharing memories. This comment expresses farewell to the character Leslie Weber. The viewer emphasizes that her presence on the show will be remembered and missed. The fans are reacting to the deaths of both Leslie Weber and Monica Quartermain. The first comment calls for a proper on-screen farewell. The second identifies Leslie as Laura's mother. Together, the comments stress the importance of honoring both. The first comment provides factual clarification about the date of Denise Alexander's passing. The viewer seems to be informing others in the thread. Dr. Leslie Weber, played by Denise Alexander, was first introduced to General Hospital in 1973 as a cardiologist arriving in Port Charles. Her first major patient was Florence Gray, who immediately set off a chain of events that tied her to the powerful Gray family. Leslie realized that Florence's husband, Gordon, was the same professor who had gotten her pregnant years earlier. She had believed the baby died shortly after birth, but it was eventually revealed that her daughter, Laura, was still alive and living with adoptive parents nearby. Leslie's journey to reconnect with Laura became one of the show's key early storylines. Her husband at the time, Cameron Faulkner, tried to stop her from seeing Laura, even going as far as paying the adoptive family to leave town. When Leslie found out, she confronted him, and during a struggle in the car, Cameron died in an accident. That traumatic event brought Leslie closer to Dr. Rick Weber, who eventually became her second husband. Leslie's family life became even more complicated when Laura, as a teenager, accidentally killed David Hamilton, a man who had manipulated both Leslie and Laura emotionally. Leslie took the blame at first to protect her daughter. Laura later remembered the truth, confessed, and Leslie was cleared. This event further solidified the mother-daughter bond and became one of the most dramatic early plotlines tied to her character. Her marriage to Rick wasn't always smooth. Monica, Rick's former flame, frequently came between them. At one point, Monica told Leslie that her baby was Rick's, which wasn't true. This caused Leslie to leave Rick, but they eventually reconciled, adopted a boy named Mike, and welcomed troubled teen Blackie Parrish into their home. Leslie was presumed dead in 1984 after a car accident, but in true soap fashion, she was later revealed to have been kidnapped and held captive by the Cassadines. She returned to the show in 1996, alive but traumatized, and began rebuilding her life in Port Charles. Leslie went on to help raise her grandchildren, Lucky, Nicholas, and Lulu, while continuing to support Laura through a string of family crises. In later years, Leslie played a key role in helping take down Cyrus Renault and was active in hospital board meetings. She even officiated Laura's wedding to Kevin Collins. Her last appearance came in early 2021. Leslie Weber's decades-long presence shaped the show's core family and gave viewers some of its most unforgettable moments. The actor who portrays Luke Spencer on the daytime soap opera General Hospital, Anthony Gioi, is married to Claudio Gama. While there's not a lot of publicly available information about Gama on the internet, he is often seen sharing photographs of his husband, cat, and food on his social media account. Gioi shared a post on Instagram on February 10, 2025, sharing that it has been 30 years since the couple met each other and 6 years of being married. He captioned the post, "General Hospital is the longest-running daytime television series in the history of American soap operas." The soap opera first aired in the year 1963 and is set in Port Charles, a fictional island. The plot of the soap opera revolves around the complex lives of the major families of the town, for example, the Quatermains, the Spencers, the Corinthos, and many more. Anthony Gioi is an American actor born on May 29, 1947, in Colville, Utah. The actor is best known for his portrayal of Luke Spencer on the daytime soap opera General Hospital. He portrayed the character for over 30 years. The actor married his long-term boyfriend, Claudio Gama, in February of 2020. Gama frequently shares updates on the two on Instagram. He also shares his proud husband moment and shares clips and photos of Anthony receiving an award for his work in the industry. The actor shared a post of their anniversary party celebration on February 12, 2025, and captioned it, "Luke Spencer is a fictional character from the daytime soap opera General Hospital." Veteran actor Anthony Gioi introduced the character on the soap opera in 1978. His last appearance on General Hospital was in 2017. Luke Spencer was a complex character who was at the center of several storylines. He was involved in several shady activities with Frank Smith, who later pressured Luke to marry his daughter, Jennifer. Even though he was getting married to Jennifer, he had feelings for Laura. The two had to go through several obstacles to come together. When they did come together, they had 2 children, Lucky and Lulu Spencer. Since Luke was involved in several criminal activities, Laura was desperate and looking for peace. The couple faced challenges that became too difficult, and the two eventually separated. Luke and Laura's romantic relationship was one of the central and fan-favorite plots of the soap opera. However, Luke was also involved with other characters on the show, like Tracy Quatermain, Holly Sutton, and Sky Chandler Quartermain. Later, on General Hospital, Luke discovered that he had another son with Holly Sutton named Ethan Lovett. General Hospital spoilers say that a lot of fans can't help but wonder what might be really going on with Drew. Could it be that he's really Shiloh with plastic surgery? It's not like this hasn't happened before. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. In fact, a lot of eagle-eyed viewers can't help but wonder if Drew actually did plant that bomb at Sonny's himself, or he had someone do it for him. Clearly, Drew wanted to take out Sonny or even Jason, but instead it was Michael who got caught in the explosion. This has prompted a lot of people to believe that the bomb was meant for Sonny, when in actuality Jason or hell, even Michael himself, could have been the target all along. No one would put this past Drew, either. After all, he is a former Navy SEAL, and he would probably have all sorts of contacts to help him get those kinds of explosives. If that weren't enough, Drew hanging out with the likes of Sidwell and Selena Wu is not helping his case either. Still, some people think that Shiloh has his fingerprints all over this. As our loyal readers can imagine, the internet certainly had a lot to say about where this storyline is headed. Some even commented with, "I still say that Drew is not the real Drew, and he is most likely Shiloh with plastic surgery, and the real Drew is being held captive somewhere. I'll bet that's what's in his medical records, that he has the wrong blood type or something." Another viewer of the show wrote, "The real question is when his obsession with Willow really started, before or after their kiss." Of course, General Hospital fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. General Hospital airs weekdays on the ABC network. Check your local listings for times. In the meantime, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. Kin Shriner, the actor who plays Scott, is recovering from foot surgery. Few characters have a longer history on General Hospital than Scott Baldwin. The character has been played by a number of different actors over the decades, and has been on the show all the way back into the 1960s. While Scott has not been a consistent character in that time, he has shown up and disappeared throughout the years. In 2024, though, Scott is very much a part of the world of General Hospital, which is why many regular viewers have noticed that he is absent from the show's most recent episodes. Naturally, they want to know what happened to Scott, and when the character might be back on the show. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like this is one of those occasions where Scott is going to be gone for an extended period. Instead, Scott has been absent from the show because Ken Schreiner, the actor who plays him, had foot surgery and is now in recovery. He has been wearing a boot since early July, and it looks like he won't be able to make his return to the show until he's fully healed. On August 13, Ken wrote on Twitter that he was counting days till out of boot, and back to my favorite pastime at Vespa_official and acting, meaning that he was eager to get back to his work on the show, just as many fans are eager to see Scott back on their TVs. For now, though, they'll have to deal with a dry spell where Scott remains off-screen. Soap fans and writers are used to these kinds of adaptations, and have always found creative ways to write characters out of the show temporarily, or to write around them until they can be back on screen. Scott is an essential piece to General Hospital, but the show should be able to work around him at least until Ken is back in shape and ready to return to the role. Although Ken is playing one of the show's most long-running characters, he has had a somewhat tumultuous history with the show. He wrote on X in May of 2023 that he had been fired, but that turned out not to be true, and he wound up continuing on with the show. He's also disappeared from the show in the past for reasons that had nothing to do with his personal health. Writers can decide when and where to use their preferred characters basically however they want, and Ken is at the mercy of those writers. Of course, it helps that he's playing a widely beloved character with a long history on the show. This time, though, it seems like Scott will be back in relatively short order. In a dramatic turn of events shaking Port Charles to its core, General Hospital reveals an emotionally charged conflict surrounding Gioi's true identity, unfolding not just as a family secret, but as a seismic moral reckoning for all involved. At the center of this turmoil stands Maxie, caught between two close friends, Brooklyn and Lulu, whose clashing decisions threaten to fracture long-standing relationships and redefine the town's social fabric. Brooklyn's past decision to relinquish her son, Gioi, born from her relationship with Dante, was cloaked in secrecy and emotional trauma. Her intention wasn't deception, but survival. In contrast, Lulu, still grappling with her own time lost as a mother, believes Gioi deserves the truth and that Dante, unaware of his fatherhood, has a right to know. Her relentless pursuit of revelation ignites a bitter ideological divide, concealment for protection versus exposure for justice. The ensuing conflict doesn't just reopen old wounds, it rewrites personal narratives. Rumors swirl, alliances shift, and the story becomes more than just a revelation about Gioi's paternity. It becomes a battleground for power, identity, and the emotional toll of long-buried decisions. Brooklyn fears the fallout of a harsh, uncontrolled truth. Lulu pushes forward, convinced the lies must end. But it's Maxie who stands at the crossroads, no longer able to remain neutral. Initially silent, Maxie makes a decisive move. She aligns with Brooklyn. It's a choice born not merely from friendship, but from a belief that Lulu's approach crosses moral boundaries. This pivot sparks a chain reaction, culminating in Maxie's unexpected decision to take custody of Gioi. With the child now ostracized and abandoned amid the chaos, Maxie steps into a role no one expected of her: protector, guardian, and moral anchor. Her bold action transforms her public perception. Once dismissed as too passive to make impactful decisions, Maxie is now viewed with both scrutiny and admiration. To some, she's shielding a lie. To others, she embodies compassion in a community steeped in judgment. But for Maxie, the motive is simple: Gioi needs love, not condemnation. Her focus is no longer on salvaging fractured friendships, but on preserving a child's emotional future. However, the shockwaves don't end there. A deeper betrayal emerges as Maxie discovers that Lulu, under the guise of moral justice, is secretly colluding with Tracy Quartermaine to wrest control of Deception, the company Maxie built from the ground up. What began as a personal dilemma has now escalated into corporate sabotage, executed through calculated restructuring and hidden agendas. This revelation devastates Maxie. The betrayal isn't just professional, it's personal. The same friend she once trusted implicitly is now systematically dismantling the very legacy Maxie fought to protect. Each passing day strips her of power, autonomy, and emotional security. The lines between professional ambition and personal revenge blur as Maxie becomes the target of a silent, relentless power play. Maxie's journey has evolved from bystander to central figure in a volatile drama. Her decision to protect Gioi wasn't just a maternal instinct, it was a declaration of her own values in a world unraveling around her. Now, she's entangled in a battle that tests the limits of friendship, identity, and endurance. What began as a story about a hidden child has transformed into a much larger commentary on truth, forgiveness, and the human cost of moral convictions. Maxie is no longer just choosing sides between Brooklyn and Lulu. She's confronting betrayal at its deepest level while fighting to preserve her dignity, her legacy, and her sense of self. As the narrative around Gioi continues to evolve, Port Charles must now reckon with the larger consequences. In the end, Maxie's defining role in this conflict proves that the greatest shocks come not from explosive revelations, but from the quiet strength of those who choose to act when no one else will. In recent developments on General Hospital, a hidden agreement between Alexis, Ava, and Rick is inching toward exposure, and Cody may be the catalyst. Ava and Rick obtained a substantial sum of money from Alexis after presenting evidence implicating Christina in a serious accident. Alexis, driven by maternal instinct, couldn't bear the thought of her daughter facing legal consequences. To protect Christina, she reluctantly accepted Ava's terms, even if it meant hiding the full truth. When Christina questioned Alexis about plans to admit her to a psychiatric facility, Alexis avoided complete honesty, likely fearing further emotional damage. However, the secrecy surrounding the deal starts to unravel when a critical mistake occurs. A bartender inadvertently hands Cody Rick and Ava's exclusive Dolos card, a high-limit financial tool typically reserved for elite clientele. This oversight piqued Cody's interest, particularly after he learned that Ava's mother was actually bankrupt. The possession of such a powerful financial instrument didn't align with their apparent financial status, prompting Cody to investigate further. His curiosity could lead him to inform Molly about the card and the suspicious circumstances. As a determined figure, Molly might confront Rick directly or conduct her own inquiry. Her investigation could uncover that Alexis has been quietly financing Ava and Rick's lifestyle to keep Christina safe. As the truth emerges, the fallout is expected to be intense. Molly may hold Alexis accountable for enabling dangerous situations, and she could confront Christina for her role in nearly causing Rick's death. These revelations are set to test familial bonds and ignite new tensions across Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Drew Kane wants to continue to blackmail Dr. Portia Robinson rather than bring her down for her role in drugging him with ketamine. This could be because Drew has other sinister plans in store in which he will most likely rope Portia into. This could include the framing of his aunt, Tracy Quartermaine, as Drew plans to implicate her as the person who drugged him. Drew is still holding what he knows about Heather Weber's test results over Portia's hand, so he still needs Portia to do his bidding. Drew definitely despises his aunt and does not trust her. Tracy recently promised Drew that he could get the Quartermaine name back if the referendum vote regarding the peers goes through in their plan to take down Sunny Corinthos. Drew would need leverage to hold over Tracy to get what he wants, but he may just want to bring her down for good. Drew would tell Portia that she needs her to say that Brad Cooper was paid off by Tracy, and that Tracy was the one who hired Jacinda to drug him. Brad supplied her with the ketamine. Portia would be shocked, of course, but have no choice but to go along with Drew's plan. Drew holds a press conference and requests that Portia be there. Drew would tell the press that he has discovered the truth that his Aunt Tracy was the one who set him up and had the escort drug him with ketamine, and that she was assisted by Brad Cooper. Since Brad is long gone, as Drew paid him off, Drew could make it look like Tracy was the one who paid him off. Drew could fabricate evidence, and Tracy would be shocked when Mac Scorpio takes her down to the PCPD for questioning. After intense questioning from Mac, along with the evidence that Drew fabricated, Tracy would be formally charged with Drew's drugging and arrested for the crime. Drew would be pleased that everything that he wanted is coming to pass. Meanwhile, Portia would feel a tremendous amount of guilt and not be able to confess the truth to save Tracy, as her medical license and freedom are on the line. What do you think? Do you think that Drew will frame Tracy for his drugging? Will Portia be forced to help Drew? Will Tracy be charged and arrested? Keep watching General Hospital weekdays on ABC to find out what happens next. This week on GH, Lulu's educated guess is right on the money and she reads Carly in. Meanwhile, Sunny continues to contemplate selling his peers to Sidwell, and Willow gets served. Who's doing the serving? The General Hospital Spoilers video preview for the week of May 12, 2025 is here. Find out what explosive situations will happen this week in Port Charles. This week, Sunny considers the safety of his family by going legit. Sidwell is not my first choice, but it's the only chance we have to walk away from the business. Could Sidwell's offer be the ticket to making that happen? Will he and Jason sign off on selling the peers to the newest crime lord in town? This could be a matter of Port Charles needing the devil they know instead of an unknown entity like Sidwell. Sunny should proceed with caution here. Elsewhere, Carly throws out a very loaded question when she asks Lulu, "Who do you think Dante's son is?" Lulu's response is right on the money. "It's Gioi," she says. At this point, this may only be an educated guess or even a hunch. However, Lulu is dying to divulge the secret of the adoption to Dante. Is this finally the week that she spills the beans? Meanwhile, Tracy tells Jason, "I need you to find him." This may mean that Tracy reads in Jason about the big adoption secret, which is barely a secret at this point. It sounds like Tracy challenges Jason to find Brooke Lynn's son. She may also suggest going through Lois to do it. She undoubtedly thinks Lois knows more than what she's saying. Finally, Willow gets blindsided with a "you've been served" declaration. Who's doing the serving? With Nina's plan to bring down Drew unleashed, is this Carly's plan at work? This could be about protecting Michael and preventing him from losing his kids to the dastardly Drew. How will Willow respond?